Hey, what is up guys? Azure here, and today I'm bringing you a brand new video about all the stuff you need to know about the iPad Pro and the Apple Pencil. So the iPad Pro is like the iPad Air 2, but a little bit thicker, a lot heavier, more expensive, and a better display, they say. But is it really that much better of a display? The iPad Pro features a 12.9-inch screen. The iPad Air 2, on the other hand, features a 9.7-inch screen. The iPad Pro has 22.114 inches squared of display, while the iPad Air 2 only has 16.629 inches squared. Basically, the iPad Pro 2 has a 32.9% larger screen. The resolution on the iPad Pro is 2732 by 2048, which is 5.95 million pixels. The resolution on the iPad Air 2, on the other hand, is 2048 by 1536 pixels, which is 3.14 million pixels. And this is an 89.2% increase in pixels versus the iPad Air 2. In terms of pixel density, though, the iPad Pro is larger, but it only has a 5 pixel density increase from 264 to 269, a mere 1.8% pixel density increase. The design. The iPad Pro is 6.9 millimeters thin, which is 0.8 millimeters thicker than its predecessor, the iPad Air 2, but it will probably have a much bigger battery. More on that later. And the iPad Pro weighs in at 1.54 pounds or 698 grams. Compare this to the iPad Air 2's 0.96 pounds or 437 grams, and the iPad Pro is a whopping 59.8% increase in weight. But now to the internals. The iPad Pro features an A9X processor, which is said to be 1.8 times faster than the A8X processor that was in the iPad Air 2. Will this actually be the correct statistics? We won't know. The best thing, though, about this processor and the graphics card inside of it are that it will feature variable refresh rates. There is an 8 megapixel camera on the outside, which is not enough to film 4K videos, but there is also an HD 720p FaceTime webcam, which will mean you can FaceTime in 720p. Now onto the speakers of the internals. There's a 4-speaker design with 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and this is supposed to make a top and bottom, left and right speaker feel more immersive when you're listening to music. They say that it'll have the same volume, though, as the iPad Air 2 at the event, and that would mean that it would come in at 81 decibels, which is just 4 decibels lower than if you're in an auditorium and everyone is clapping, which would be 85, which is pretty good. But supposedly, the battery will last 10 hours on a single charge, which was the same number that they gave us for the iPad Air 2. Now, the iPad Air 2 has a 7,430 milliamp battery. And because the iPad Air has 89.2% more pixels, I expect, based on these calculations, that it'll have a 14,057 milliamp battery. Yes, fun fact, that would be 7.76 times larger than the current iPhone 6. So onto the software. The iPad Pro will obviously feature iOS 9, but what are 4 big things that this means for the iPad Pro? The first thing that this means is split screen multitasking. You can swipe over and another app will come right up. The second thing is that there's a new on-screen keyboard. This keyboard is full-sized, but it also features many new QuickType features. A third feature are a lot of battery-saving techniques. On iOS 9, there's low power saving mode, and there are also other enhancements to the software to make it so that your battery will be better. This could mean Apple could cheap out and not give us a 14,057 milliamp battery. And also, the new Notes app is now more like a notebook instead of like a place where you can just type words, with new diagramming and graphs that you can put in there. Now onto the 2 accessories that I'm very excited to talk to you about. The first being, drumroll please, the Apple Pencil. Yeah. So this is a stylus, an Apple stylus. Steve Jobs once said, "It's like we said on the iPad, if you see a stylus, they blew it." Really living up to your old CEO's dreams, aren't ya? This pencil can be charged from the iPad, just plugging it in on the end because it has a lightning port. You can touch 1 pixel at a time with it, and it has extremely low latency because that's what Apple's been putting all the money that you're going to spend on it into. Also, there are sensors to measure how hard you push on it, as well as the tilt when you're writing. This pencil, this Apple Pencil, will cost you a small fortune for a pencil, $100. Next is the Apple Smart Keyboard. The less exciting, this $170 keyboard This $170 keyboard is not mechanical and actually features dome switches, which you can find on the Apple laptop. Also, there's a fabric overlay that will make the entire keyboard feel like you're typing on a blanket. But Asher, what is the pricing and availability for the iPad Pro? Well, congratulations! The iPad Pro will start at $799 for 32 gigabytes, $949 for 128 gigabytes, and $1,079 for 128 gigabytes and cellular. And that does not include the Apple Pencil or the Apple Keyboard. That concludes today's video. If you enjoyed, please remember to leave a thumbs up on the video, subscribe, share with friends, comment, and I'll see you in the next one.